This is the very beginning of Occupy Vancouver site that has been here since the 15th of October. It's almost been a month now. I've come down here every chance I get. One day there was a whole lot of people that were dressed up like Marie Antoinette. Let them eat cake, and that was really fun. That was a few weeks ago. That was really fun. And then it just kind of changes all the time. This is the main stage. The people that are walking past with barrels of things are probably heading for the kitchen because you can get food here. I had lunch here yesterday and it was quite good. Get you on these umbrellas here. During the Olympics, this front had this great big flower covering over this particular area. So this is a common area for people to do whatever they want to do. The city has tried to get rid of this. They have an injunction, and then they put the injunction off. You know, blah 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 blah. There's a whole variety of causes here. The reason that I'm interested in coming down here is the corporate greed angle. I mean, I just think it's ridiculous that I make $10 an hour driving a truck, working my ass off, and the president of BC Ferries just makes hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if he does a shitty job, then he gets this huge payout. There's something really wrong with that. The whole culture something's got to change. That's why I'm here. This is a gentleman that I've seen every time I've been down here. He's very dedicated, and I'm not too sure what his primary reason is, or if he has a primary reason.
Yes, I do. Would you like me to tell you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to bring about none of the above in the electoral process, structural reform in government. Men and women's circles arriving from that should there be a majority in any riding. In fact, I'm beginning to think that probably we should do that for anybody that votes. The problem is to get the none of the above on the ballot for 15 years, including going to the Supreme Court in May, to get enough traction to do that.
Right.
I've been doing petitions for years.
Yeah.
They won't touch it because politics is a superior option for some people.
Yeah.
And of course the status quo is the way it is, and they don't realize that the status quo has to be in a state of change, or we just become locked in varieties of corruption. Of course, that's what's happening.
There's also a large contingent of Aboriginals here who are trying really hard to get various things changed. I'm not really that into the.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, here comes a guy.
We had a lecture this morning, and we thought that it would be good to have, since a lot more of you have shown up, a lot of people have also left, to just give you that same lecture again. This is Alvin Wiley. He's the Urban Studies Chair at UBC, and he's going to be talking to you a little bit about an idea called the right to the city, urban democracy. And he's going to be talking about, kind of the forces behind gentrification and just ways of thinking about what the city is and who it belongs to. So, without further ado, Professor Alvin Wiley.
Urban, and it is a future
Listen
of
to
the
a little
left.
bit of what this gentleman has to say.
It is a future of the kaleidoscope of the 99%, the alliances and the friendships that are bringing us all together today to draw strength not just from our numbers, but from our differences. Iris Marion Young famously described city life as the art of living together with strangers. But now, we've been properly introduced. We're not strangers anymore. This is the ultimate social networking of coming together in a city. Look around. Friend request accepted. We need to claim the right to the city. In Canada, the top 1% has been grabbing an increasing share of society's total income since the early 1990s. The top 1% now has a greater share than at any time since 1940. And the richest of the rich, the top 1% of the top 1%, now control total income that is more than 189 times their share. The last time it was this high was in 1936.
You are to
Unfortunately, I don't have the battery power or the time to film the gentleman who is speaking right now. So I will focus now on the huge number of tents of just ordinary people who have come from all over the country to occupy Vancouver. And they've started removing a number of the occupation sites in Hamilton, Ontario, etc., etc. But so far, we have been able to hang on here with the few modifications that were demanded by the fire department, and very justifiably so.
And then it was
Yesterday, I was encamped in this particular tent. Now it's all closed down.
No. This fringe
I'm not too sure what's going on, but it was all open, and we had this unbelievable rainstorm, a real downpour, which we don't usually have in Vancouver. And then we had this huge windstorm, which is fairly common in Vancouver. And we were all holding to try and hope that this whole structure didn't just fly away into the street.